Welcome to 3 Ways to Power Up Your Virtual Event with Angela Pitter, founder and CEO of Livewire Collaborative. I found this business 8 years ago to help nonprofits and businesses with their online marketing to drive awareness of their organizations. And of course, the bottom line, some of my services include digital marketing assessment, where I demonstrate how to take a look at your online footprint and share the gaps and strategize a way forward. Of course, I do a lot of training, social media training, Zoom training, and virtual event production. So connect with me on LinkedIn. That's my favorite platform where I hang out the most. And you see the QR code here. You can just snapshot that and be right on my LinkedIn profile. So let's get started. We're going to talk about what happens before your event, during your event, and after event. But before we kind of launch this, we really have to go into your Zoom settings, because everything that I'm going to talk about, if your settings aren't right, you won't be able to do any of this. So we're going to go into your Zoom settings here. You're going to click on basic. You scroll down a little bit to below the chat, all that stuff there. And you're eventually going to come to this meeting survey. Make sure that is turned on, because when we talk about what happens after the event, this is going to be key. The other thing that's going to be key after the event, if you go into this advanced, you'll see this closed captioning. Make sure that's on. All of these boxes are checked, as well as saved captions is on. And finally, the during event, all of that goodie happens right here with the Zoom apps. Make sure you turn that on as well. So let's get to it now. Let's talk about what's going to happen before your event. And the key thing before the event is the branding. And how does the branding happen? So what you're going to do is you're going to go into your Zoom meeting, and you're going to make sure, the registration is turned on, because once you do that, you scroll down here under branding, you can see that you're able to now upload a background for your event. You're able to upload your logo. It has all the required dimensions here. And why is that important? Because once you do that, your attendees, when they register, they'll see the background. They will see the logo as part of the registration sign-up process. And then they get that confirmation email. And once again, the background, very lovely, as well as the logo, will be part of the registration. So the branding follows them throughout. So that's why you want to make sure you have all of that in place when you're setting up your event. Now, during the event, this is a new goodie that was introduced by Zoom during 2021, Zoom apps. And if you haven't tried them, I want you to head over to the marketplace.zoom.us. And there you're going to find, I'm going to just show you real quickly, you're going to find a whole ton of things that you can do during your Zoom event. So you can actually integrate these apps. There's collaboration apps, there's game apps, Cahoots. A lot of people were using that during the shutdown. That was a fun game to do. But if you're, doing a lot of collaboration, some of you might be using Asana. I love to use the Timer app, but the app that you're going to love the most is this Pledge app, which I'm going to show you right now. And what you're going to do is you're going to go over to pledge.com, because that allows your attendees to actually donate. Yes, I said that word, donate, during your Zoom meeting. Now, you have to set it up on pledge.com. You have to verify the organization, and that verification process includes them sending you a postcard to the organization address with the code so that you can complete that process. But once you do that, now you're able to add that app into your Zoom meeting, and your attendees can then donate. You can set up the goals, as you can see here in the screenshot. The other cool thing is they have this text to donate option, which you could actually also share in the chat. So the attendees have 2 ways. They can donate through the Zoom, or they can actually use the text to donate option as well. And the final thing that I really like about this is once they do donate, this thank the donors background is appearing. The donors are able to add that to their background. So that really starts creating that FOMO effect when you see that popping up all over the place. So that is all about Zoom apps during your meeting. Now, the next thing you want to do is go after your event. So, you worked so hard on your event. Now you need to capture that feedback. You want to know what worked, what didn't work so well. And then, of course, repurpose it. Because again, once again, you spent a lot of time on this. So let's show what the events look like. So remember at the beginning of the settings, we turned on the survey. This is why, so that you can then launch the survey. But let me show you where you set that up. So you set that up within your meeting. So once you turn it on, that survey option is here. And if we go in here, it's really easy to customize. You can have single choice, multiple choice, the scales, open answers here. You can also require the questions if you want. And then you save that, right? And then once that's set up, your attendees will see the survey when the meeting ends. So when you hit end meeting, the survey launches and then they're able to fill it out and submit it. And then you're able to review the survey results. You have to go back into your Zoom meeting. And now, as you notice here, instead of seeing the actual survey, you're going to see the responses. So you click on view responses and that is it. So it's really a simple option, but it's a great tool to use to capture that feedback. And then the last thing you're going to do is you're going to repurpose your event. And there's 3 ways to do that. Remember, we turned on the live transcript again at the beginning, and that's because you get the text file to create your blog post. Zoom always generates the audio file, and you can use that to repurpose into your podcast. If you do Twitter, you could do audio tweets, so you can use it there as well. And finally, of course, use that video file to then edit it and create those promotional clips that you're going to share out on your social media. So I'm going to real quickly just do a little tutorial on live transcript and Zoom apps, because some of you may not be familiar with that. So it all shows up once you enable it. Both the live transcript and the app shows here at the bottom of your screen. You enable the auto transcription, then you'll see it at the top here that it has been enabled. The other cool thing is you could hide the subtitle if you don't want to see that. And you could also, if you want to see the full transcript as you're talking, you can see that here and it will open the window. This is one thing you want to be aware of. If you're recording in the cloud, you need to save the transcript to get that text file, because otherwise you won't get that. You do get it automatically if you're recording on your computer, but not if you're recording in the cloud. And then finally, Zoom apps. Again, once you enable that, it's here in your window, you can launch it. Once you launch it, you will see the apps that you already integrated, and then you can use that Discover tab if you want to also add other apps. So you can go to that marketplace.zoom.us that I showed earlier and activate them there, or you could literally just activate within your Zoom meeting. So those are the 2 ways to do that. And this is the timer app that I really love. And again, you can launch that and keep track of the time right in your meeting. So to recap, before, you want to make sure your registration and the branding is all set up. During, take advantage of those Zoom apps. There's so many of them. Track time, and of course, use the pledge.com to collect those donations. And then finally, after the meeting, repurpose that video, all those 3 ways that I show you, and capture that event feedback with the survey. Turn that on. Well, thank you for joining me. I am Angela Pitter, again, founder, CEO, Livewire Collaborative. Check me out on LinkedIn. That's that QR code. Once again, take a snapshot of that and join me right there. Thank you.